sharp on time at 5, but I've just been having a bit of an internet issue, so I hope it works for the next 20 minutes. I've got some very interesting questions, and I put in a couple bonus questions. So it's going to be an interesting quiz. Thank you all for joining us. This is the India Fact Quiz, and we come to you every Friday and Saturday at 5 p.m. The idea of this quiz is not to talk about things that you can get through general knowledge, but really issues that you need to test your bias for. All right, so with that, we're going to have a quick start. Just so you know, and for those of you who are new to this platform, please make sure that you have a second device, or you can toggle with two screens, where you're going to log into www.kahoot.it. Once you get there, it's going to ask you for the pin, and the pin is in the chat box, and I'm going to share it with you as well. And you put the pin in, and you put your name in, and you're pretty much good to go. All right. And we're going to have 3 poll questions. For these questions, you don't have scores. It's just about getting you comfortable with the format. And yeah, we'll then get into the quiz. It's as simple as that. All right. I'm really hoping that my internet connection stays on. I hope all of you are staying safe. It's a scary time around the country. And those of you who are recovering from COVID, those of you who are have family members who've had a hard time, I do wish you all the very best. It is a very challenging infection to get out of, but I'm sure we're all going to make it through. All right, India Fact Quiz is powered by India Spend, which is a data journalism initiative. And this is brought to you with all the support from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Okay, if I have an issue with the internet connection, I'm just going to turn off the video. So I'll save on bandwidth, and then we can still continue. The quiz as we go. Rajiv is in a very mischievous mood. Yes, I guess not everything lasts forever. So, and Darshan has said his father's recovered from COVID, which is fantastic. So happy to hear that, Darshan. And I really hope he has a very good and safe recovery. The book that we have for you, I'm all over the place, and I'm sorry about that. Rohit, you will get the pin, the game pin. Hari Krishnan has asked, did you take the vaccine? Yes, I very much took the vaccine. I'm very, very proud to say I took the vaccine, and all of us must. If we have to get to herd immunity, I think that's the only, and if we have to really kick this disease in its teeth, we will all have to make sure that we take the vaccine. There is enough and more technology to tell us that this vaccine works. Please do get that. All right. So Sai was asking, what's the prize? It's a beautiful book. It's an autobiography by Leila Seth. She's the mother of Vikram Seth, who's the author of Suitable Boy and other books. And it's her very interesting story, how she's really a late bloomer, started off in a sense, had children. She goes to London, following her husband because it's his job. And then she goes there and decides, I need to do something with my life, and I need to do something which will not probably take me away from the home, because she now has a son by this time. Vikram Seth was born by then. And she decides the only thing that really was work from home kind of a course that she could do was law. She applies for law. She tops the bar exam in the UK, and she comes back and she becomes the first Chief Justice in a High Court, which is, I think, the first woman Chief Justice in a High Court, which is remarkable. So started off very late and reached some very great heights. An extraordinary mother, talks about her challenges. Yeah, that's a book we have. And Sai, to your question on the previous week's prizes, they're on their way. We've been pushing them. Yes, the lockdown's been bad, but we've still managed to get quite a few of the books out. So it's on its way, and you should be getting it. However, if any of you haven't got your book, we drop the link uh, to the Google form. Just fill it up and we'll make sure that we send it to you and fill in all your details. Shiva is working very hard to make sure all of you get your books. Then Amrita, yes, tomorrow is Mother's Day. Both as a daughter and as a mother, I really do look forward to this day. And we've got a couple of questions around that. So without much ado, I'm going to start off now. Welcome everyone to India Fact Quiz. And I'm going to share my screen now. And I do hope that I'm going to turn off my video as well. And I do hope that everything works out well for the next few minutes. Just give me a moment. Okay, here we are. Shilpa, Arya, Deepti, Rahul, Anna, Radhika, Padmuja, Naisi, Kush, Nitya, Vishnu, Harshit, Shreyan, Sai, Tom, Bharat, Prem, Kumar, Aman, Vikas, Kartikeya. Nice to see you again. Sinivasan, Arnav, Pushpa, Paras, everyone, a very, very warm welcome. It's been a very busy week. And well, what better way than to end the week with getting a book or two, right? And playing the game of facts. Hi, Mamta. And with this, we're going to start with the poll questions. And here we have it. It's all about mothers, and because Mother's Day is coming up. This is a multi-select one. Do you celebrate Mother's Day? No, it's a Western concept. Got to know about it recently, and I like it because I love my mom. I celebrate everything, and I find all of this too gimmicky. Whatever your reason could possibly come close to, we'd like to hear it. So 37 of you fall clearly in my camp. I celebrate everything. All right, 8 of you have said it's a Western concept. Yes, it is. And 21 of you got to know about it recently and like it because, well, moms are the most precious and important people in our lives. And that's a very valid point. And 11 of you have said it, you find it gimmicky. And, you've got a point there. So, along with Valentine's and all of these days, suddenly it's more a marketing ploy or effort than anything else. But I think at the core, the sentiment remains. All right. There are no wrong answers, by the way. So do you pamper your mom? Do you cook a meal for her or give her a day off or buy her something nice? It could be no, I don't need to demonstrate my affection for her. Sometimes I try and help, but I'm not good at housework. I make sure I do some of the chores around the house, or I'm trying to get better. I hope to give us some moments of relief. I know in which camp I fall in. All right. So 27 of you are really very nice, I must say. And, you do your chores around the house, which is great. 19 of you have said, well, very honest, I must say, that you try and help, but you're not very good at housework. We'll get there, don't worry. 3 of you have said, no, you don't need to demonstrate any affection, which is fine too. And 21 of you have said you're trying to get better and hope to give us some moments of relief. Hats off to just the honesty, the effort for trying to be absolutely honest here. All right. The last poll question is a word cloud. One piece of advice or a word or a phrase. And I've added dads here because sometimes dads are such wonderful mums as well, that she uses all the time. I have some, which my mom uses for me, and they're quite funny. They're quite candid. Mothers are like that, right? They'll just give it to you straight up. And there's really very little, pardon my French, bullshitting around moms. They'll just give it to you the way you have to get it. I'm so curious because this looks like a very interesting word cloud. It's how are you? Yeah, they do ask that. Go study. That's a very popular one. You're a waste. I get it. Son Pari, that is so sweet. Be loud. Use your mobile less. I hear that all the time. Insan ki tarah raho. I think that's a very, yes, that I identify with that. Help me with the chores. Self-caring. When will you improve? Study well. Don't use your phone. the best. We're always the best, right, for our moms, and they motivate us and they keep us going and they'll keep encouraging us. Um, Eat. Yes, I hear that a lot. Be strong, be careful, work hard, um, be good. They're funny. Um, look at I think you meant look at the neighbors. Go take a bath. I so get that. Be serious. Don't give up. Bubbly, okay, clever. Clean the room. Stay true to yourself. Yes. Have some less worry. Always be grounded. Don't waste time. Eat more. Drink water. Keep patience. Don't disturb your brother. I think. Be honest. Go study. Do it with. Do it full of joy. I get that, and grow up. Okay. I love the candid remarks that we've put out there, and moms are just so fantastic. So this is the end of the poll questions. No marks for this, and the marks will start with the next question onwards. So any fence sitters, please come and join us. I'm telling you, you'll really like this quiz. All right, so we're on to it's the 17th week of the Game of Facts this year, and we're coming up with the first question, which is a true or false. We've just had the World Migration Bird Day. So it's tea plantations are the primary reasons for the decline of the Nilgiri thrush and the Nilgiri pipits. They're lovely little birds, which you normally would find in the Nilgiris. Is it true, or is the statement false? So 58 of you have said that it is true. Tree plantations are in fact the primary reason for the decline in sighting of these lovely birds. Now, the thing is that the Nilgiris have this shola trees or forests, which actually have their roots go across, and it's a wonderful water system that is actually below the ground. And you have these grasslands. So the Nilgiri hills are covered in these beautiful grasslands, and most of these grasslands are now giving way to tea plantations. And in the process, these endemic birds are not finding their homes anymore in the Nilgiris, and therefore we're seeing a dramatic decline. This comes from a report called The State of Birds, which was released last year. If any of you are interested in bird watching, etc., that's wonderful. So Darshan, I think you got this right, and you got this first. And therefore you're in the lead, followed by Udit, Swati, Nishant, and Adit. The next question coming up is for double points. There has been a drastic decline in the number of Indian vultures since the 1900s, and this is largely because of the decrease in eucalyptus and arjuna trees, increase in the number of dog scavengers, a decline in the Parsi community, or poisoning by diclofenac. All right, so 39 of you are clearly very with it in knowing about avians, and you are right. Diclofenac is an anti-inflammatory drug which is given to cattle. Vultures, we all know, are scavengers. So they feast, or rather they take their nutrition from carcasses. And when the cattle die, the vultures typically will take the feed on these carcasses. And because of that, the presence of the drug in the carcasses led to a very dramatic and a drastic decline in the number of vultures. Yeah, that's really the reason. And especially in India, which the vultures go back millions of years, there's a very special relationship that as a community we have with these birds that we really don't think much about. When we think of them, it's like they're not really at the same status as the peacock or maybe some other pretty looking bird. We don't look at vultures in that way, but they're very, very important from a ecosystem perspective. So let's take a look at the scoreboard, which changes every time. And we have Mamta, who's got a bird on her as part of the emojis, include two birds actually, followed by Sri, Udit, Rajiv, and Avinash. All right, we'll get into the next true or false. This one has double points. More housewives die by suicide compared to farmers. This is the latest report of the National Crime Bureau of India. We're asking whether this is true or false. So 69, it seems like this was some kind of a split house. 69 of you have got it right. We had, in fact, the latest NCRB report has recorded 21,359 housewives who died by suicide compared to 10,281 farmers. So sometimes when we talk about death by suicides, the top of mind recall we have is of farmers, but actually this is a silent killer among housewives in particular. All right, we'll see what the scoreboard is. It's now Sri who's leading, uh, followed by Udit, Rajiv, Nishant, and Mamta. The next question is another true or false. Women in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir marry at a younger age than their peers in the state of Kerala. We're comparing young women in Jammu Kashmir and Kerala and saying that the women in JNK marry at a younger age than in the state of Kerala. Is this true or false? All right. I absolutely love these ones. And I must admit, I always get them wrong. That is because of my own bias. But just so that you know, and there's a very stark difference. So in Jammu Kashmir, in the rural areas, women marry at the age of a median age of 24.8, and in urban Jammu Kashmir, it is 26.8. It's a very healthy number. In Kerala, in rural Kerala, the marriage is 23. And in urban Kerala, it is 23.2. So not much difference there. But clearly, women in Jammu and Kashmir are staying unmarried for a little longer than in the state of Kerala. These are always good indication, which means that they're probably studying more, they're probably working more independent. Some very interesting analogies that we can really throw up here. And questions like this really test our biases. So we'll take a look at the scoreboard and see what happened. And then Udit is now leading, followed by Nishant. It's a very healthy juggle happening on the scoreboard this week, followed by Avinash, Soham, and Kartikeya. All right. True or false? There are more female judges in Bombay High Court compared to Punjab and Haryana High Court. Is this true or false? All right. So, in fact, just so you know, Bombay High Court has around 8 female judges compared to Punjab and Haryana High Court, which has 11. So clearly, Punjab and Haryana High Court are doing much better than in Bombay, which kind of is a bit of a bummer, especially because of the fact that we are headquartered in Bombay. In general, we just have 81 female judges compared to 1,078 male judges. So we really have a long way to go in terms of getting more participation of women. All right. We'll see where this is leading us now. It's Kartikeya, Sarika, Udit, Rajiv, and Nishant. Okay. True or false? more females drop out of secondary school compared to their male peers. Is this true or false? So here we have it. This is false. It is actually 19.2% males who drop out of secondary school compared to 18.7% of females who drop out of secondary school. India has made significant progress in getting more girls to go to school at the primary level. The midday meals, etc., really do help. And of course, the sanitation has also improved significantly. So, separate toilets for girls and all of that. And now they are seeing more benefits in staying longer in school. And we're actually seeing that in the data that's coming out as well. Okay, the scoreboard. It's Kartikeya, Sarika, Rajiv, Ritish, and Nan Vikas. Okay, true or false again? More men are enrolled in defense studies compared to women. True or false? The statement is saying more men are in defense studies compared to women. Okay, so it is false because clearly in defense studies, this is government data that has been tracked. Women are actually in the lead, and there are more women in defense studies compared to men. Right. So here's a puzzle. You need to rank the states from high to low based on the reported cases of traffic accidents. We're not talking of road accidents, that's recorded separately. We are focusing on traffic accidents. So the states that we have are Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so just so you know, in terms of traffic accidents, Tamil Nadu is in the lead. This is 59,499 cases recorded in 2019. That would really be the last year that we can track this in its entirety, simply because we had quite a few months of total lockdowns across India in 2020, followed by Madhya Pradesh, which is around 53,379. UP is 42,368. I have to admit, when I did this question, I had UP right in the start, and Kerala, which is really not that far behind UP, with 40,354 cases traffic accidents. And Adya comes right on top, followed by Kartikeya, Vikas, Sarika, and Nan Vikas. And we'll get into two more surprise questions that we have after this quiz. This is for double points. Rank from high to low, major causes of road accidents which lead to deaths. Your options are driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs, overspeeding, weather conditions, or dangerous and careless driving. You need to stack them in order from the highest number of causes to the lowest. All right. So clearly, it's overspeeding, which causes about the bulk of the causes for deaths on Indian roads, followed by dangerous or careless driving. And then we have weather conditions, which is approximately 3.1%. Overspeeding is about 55.7%. Dangerous or careless driving, which also includes overtaking, is about 27%. Weather conditions, 3.1%. And driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs is 1.9%. Now, perceptionally, what happens is we focus so much of driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs that we forget actually nearly a double of that number die because of the weather conditions, maybe driving at a time when there's heavy rains or some kind of condition like that, as well as, of course, now we know what really the reasons are and the classifications of deaths caused by road accidents. Okay, so the scoreboard has pretty much stayed static, and that is why we've added two additional questions. You can thank me later. It's a true or false, and you get that for double points. In urban India, men spend more time shopping compared to women. All right. So clearly, there are more men, and 75 of you got that absolutely right, who are um, stepping out much more and indulging in shopping much more than women. Okay. Uh, well, a little change on the scoreboard very quickly. Adya, Vikas, Sarika, Kartikeya, and Gnan Vikas. And there's one more question which is connected to this, another true or false. Women, so while, yes, men shop more, women take longer in shopping compared to men. Is this true or false? Okay, so 66 of you are correct. Yes, we do take long, but how long is the most important question. So while women take 62 minutes per shopping trip, or for on an average for a shopping trip, men take 61 minutes, which to my mind is just a difference of about a minute, literally that specific. Again, this is government data. It's put out by the Ministry of Statistics, and it's a report called Men and Women of India. It's a fascinating report, and there are many, many gems like this in that report. So we come to the end of this quiz, and let's see who's going to get on balance by the wonderful Leila Seth. It's Ritesh in the number 3 spot. Adya is in the 2nd spot. And in the lead is Nan Vikas. Okay, so right from 5, he sort of shoots up to number 1. And Vikas and Sarika are our runner-ups for this week's quiz. This was short and snappy. I hope you like some of the questions. We'll be back next week, same time on Friday. Don't forget, it's a Hindi quiz. And on Saturday, it's the English quiz at 5 o'clock. Thank you all for joining us. And please don't forget to write in to connect@indiafactquiz.com. We love to hear from you. And yes, we do respond. And you will see the Google form in the chat. The winners, I'd request you to please put in your details so that we could send you your wonderful book. Thank you all so much, and stay safe. And we're very happy to know that Shivangi is back, and Shiva's music is there for anybody who wants to hear it. And well, we just, Meenal, Muskan, Shrish, all of us, um, working very hard behind the scenes to make sure we come up with nice quizzes like this for you week on week. And Thank you all so much and see you soon. Bye, everyone.